beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Overthinking Understanding Podcast. I'm your host, Viktoriya Moore, and we are back with another episode. What's going on? What's going on? Y'all heard the intro. Tell me how y'all like that. I sometimes I want to say it every time, but then sometimes like I don't say it. Y'all would not believe how many times I'll restart a video or restart an episode or cut out an intro just because I didn't like the way that it was said. So I'm trying to make the podcast a little bit more uniform. Like some things that you come back is gonna be normal, and I wanted to start with the intro. But with that being said, y'all heard the intro. This is a new episode. I know. My apologies off the bat. I have been missing. And I said once I came back that I was gonna try my hardest not to go missing, and I was gonna drop these episodes for y'all. But life happens. Life happens, and like my daddy always teach me, like even if you have good intentions, not being able to follow through, a letdown is a letdown. So my apologies to that. Like people be like, you ain't shot an episode in a minute. You ain't shot an episode in a minute. And trust me, like definitely majority of it is working. Like nobody wants to get up, especially something they believe in, a brand that they started from the ground, want to get up and give people bad product. And that's me. Like I don't want to give a bad product, whether I'm giving you a plate of food, whether I'm up here giving you a podcast. I don't want to give you a bad product. And also, I had different ideas, and I want to say like different ideas and people lined up and schedules just kind of conflict. But at the same time, I didn't want to not give y'all an episode, to keep not giving y'all an episode. And then just like we go talk about later, social, heartfelt, and informative things or shit on the internet for short, mental health. Like not saying that there's anything wrong with my mental health, but sometimes you have to be in a mental space to even just push through. Like you don't have to be in your best mental space to perform your best, but you have to be in that mental space like, all right, I'm pushing through. Like regardless of what I have going on, I'm going to push through. And it just haven't been that. Like it's been so much going on, like I say, professional, personal, and it's just like I'd rather not shoot an episode than get up and give a half episode, because there's no telling. I have people that's done listen to all my episodes, all 23 so of my episodes, and I have some people that has only listened or will only ever listen to one episode. So you have to let something we say in food service, like the first customer and the last customer should have the same experience. So if your food is amazing at the beginning of the night, yeah, at the beginning of the night, beginning of the day, whatever, at the end of the night, whatever that last customer, that last plate to leave that kitchen, regardless of what they order, they should have the same experience. And that's exactly what I want to do. And with the podcast world and with these episodes, I kind of wanted to get better. Not kind of like that's what I'm shooting for. It's to get better, right? Like I'm doing these podcasts, I'm getting my groove on. I want it to be better. So sometimes you only get one impression to catch people, and you want to make sure that we grabbing these people as fans. But that was a little information y'all did not ask for, but y'all definitely did deserve. And one last thing, another reason my videos, like I say, I got so many cameras, so many mics, all this little different stuff, but the videos that I upload is not the quality that I wanted. Like sometimes they'll lag. I was losing a lot of audio, losing a lot of videos. So I had to once again, like come to grips with that. Like you could shoot a whole episode, an hour to an hour and 30 minutes, or however long episode, and you lose your footage. It's a devastating. It's devastating. Like I say, starting something from the ground up and putting your all into something, like it's gonna have its losses. It's gonna have its wins and its losses. And that, with that being said, for real this time, we're gonna get into this episode. Today we're gonna talk about winning. Everybody know that my podcast, I call myself a mindset speaker, because a lot of the stuff, like I said, I hate motivation. Motivation is like a shot of liquor. Motivation only works if the mindset is there, because sometimes motivation ain't real. Like sometimes it's just you're not gonna be motivated, but if your mindset is to go out there and get it, go out there and shoot for the stars or whatever, then you'll get out there and do it. So I consider myself a mindset speaker. That is what I want to be known as. That's what I want my podcast to be known as. Like mindset with personal development, but through developing our mindset to make our lives and stuff better. So we're gonna talk about winning, and we're gonna dissect it. We're gonna dissect it. And the reason that I came up with this about, I said about 2-3 days ago. Let me not lie. Maybe about a week ago, I was in Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico. This probably has been my 100 or so trip. I have over 800, 700 hours or something flying in a plane, and working a private jet, whatever, right? So I'm sitting there in Puerto Rico and I'm looking at all these different families. Like, I don't know. I've traveled to many places. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've been to various parts of Germany and I've been to like Chile and Brazil. Like, I've seen so many places, but I just, this, I'm getting ready to leave the job that I'm at soon, right? So it's kind of in the reflection stage of me working at this place. So I kind of like sit back. I sit back and I just kind of observe. Like, I just kind of I observe and I take in a little bit more because I like, just like anything, all good things come to the end. Even though I'm ready to leave this job, it has been a wonderful job. All good things come to an end, and it's a new beginning, a new horizon is coming. Right, so to get back on it, like I'm sitting there on the beach in Puerto Rico and walking through Puerto Rico. Like, we didn't have a rental car, then, so we're walking, right? Traffic wasn't the best. Traffic was not the best in Puerto Rico. But and I'm just sitting there taking in and taken aback by how many different uh ethnicities, I always struggle with that word. But how many different people are walking around in Puerto Rico? How many different people walking around and just taken aback about how did they get there? Like, cause there's no telling how they got there. Like, the way I paid for my room and the price that I paid for my room is not the same price that this family paid. Like, and now, and I'm telling you, it's people that's coming in from London, and it's people that's coming in from the States, and you got people from all over the world, and they all meeting here in this area, and it just made me think of, this is a win to some people. Some people have never been out of their state, never been out of their city. And Puerto Rico is something that is huge to them. And this is a win. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid to be here. Whether it's per diem, like people joke about it, rappers joke about it, like it's all about how you budget your money, right? But I'm getting paid to be here regardless without the per diem. That's extra, right? But my job, that my paycheck that I get paid for every 2 weeks is to be a cabin attendant. So I'm getting paid to sit on the beach in Puerto Rico. And it kind of just took me back because it's like, man, you sit there and you think like, if I want to travel to Puerto Rico, I gotta save up this much money for this many years, or I gotta put this on this credit card, or break down I have to break down this payment using this payment breakdown app, and I can pay for it in 4 different payments. And anybody that does that, I'm not knocking it. I am not knocking it at all. But I just want to dissect when. I just want to dissect. And when I'm saying when, I'm saying WIN. I just want to dissect it. So a lot of people, so when, well, how we breaking it down, the acronym, the way that we're going to do it is wants, interest, and needs. And it needs is at the end. Needs is at the end. And a lot of people be like, you take care of your needs and your wants and your interests and all that crap will follow. But what if you really sit down and dissect what you want? I never I never sat down and said I want to travel the world. I sat down with myself when I was 18 and I told myself, well, 17 actually, 17. And I told myself that I didn't want to stay at home and I didn't want to go to college. But I wanted to join the service. Of course, I did ROTC for 3 years, 4 years, or whatever. But I told myself, like, I want to go to the service. I know I don't want to stay at home. I know I don't want to go to college. School is not for me. That's how I felt, right? So the service was a way for me to win. The service was a way, I said we go dissect it, right? Because win is a big word. The service was a way for me to get what I wanted. Because I didn't want to stay at home, so the service to take care of that. I didn't want to go to school, right after college. So the me going to the service, it takes care of that. I'm not going straight to school once I get out of college. I'm going into the military. And then me wanting to join the service, me wanting to be a cook in the United States Army, I wanted to do that. So me joining the service and picking that job, that's exactly what I got to do. So I got what I wanted. I control my wants. So that was the first part of me winning. When I joined the army, signed my contract at 17, left at 18, I never would have thought that I would be flying these important people, or that the people see as, and I don't want to say it in a bad way. Let me say flying these important people around, right? I would never would have thought that 22-year-old, 22, yeah, was that 22? Yeah, I think it was like 22. I was 22, 23, 23-year-old Victoria Moore would be flying around on private jets, cooking on the back of aircraft. Cooking on the back, that is not something that I wanted. That's not something that I wanted. But I wanted to come into the service. I wanted to be a cook. And it helped me to this point to be sitting on this beach in Puerto Rico, realizing like, man, I done got a lot of what I wanted. I done got a whole lot of what I wanted. Not necessarily like people say, take care of your needs, water, oxygen, paying your bills. We're gonna get to that. That's what people say. But I control my wants, and my wants kind of control your needs more than what people think. Because if you sit there and you tell people like you need to pay your bills, you need to be responsible, you need to do this, you need to do that, your wants are not gonna go nowhere. Sometimes 9 times out of 10 we human, our wants become vices. So it's like I wanna go out and eat every day, or I wanna go do this, or I wanna go that, and your needs kind of feel you kind of feel like a slave to your needs. But if you control your wants, like I said, we dissecting what it is, what it means to win, not this what people tell you that it means to win. Not in no competitive way where people be like, if you either win or you lose, or you win or you learn. Let's dissect win, because in order to get to win, you gotta know how to get to win. You gotta know how to get to what you want. You gotta know how to get to what you're interested in. You gotta know how to get to what you need. So you sitting up there, and I'm telling myself like, all right, I want to be a cook. And I don't just want to be a cook. When I came into the service, I was big. I was big onto the ball. And I'm not saying that I'm not big now, but I was huge into it. And I was like, Heavenly Father, it don't matter what I do, everything is for your glory. So it made me this wonderful worker because I didn't work for people. And I said throughout my podcast all the time that I still don't work for people, but sometimes you can lose sight of what you're doing it for, and you go under the water, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna be the best cook, because I just want to show you that I thank you for me able to be in the service. Got sent off to Korea, no culinary team, no nothing. Did Korea, I learned so much in Korea. You did nothing to do in Korea but do your job, work, and either get in trouble or stay out of trouble. So we end up leaving. I end up leaving Korea early, and I end up going to Washington State. I was in Washington State, I think about a year or so. I ended up doing the culinary team. I met people who trained and who actually went to culinary school. I met people with skills way way better than me, but I knew like I wanted to get better at cooking. I wanted to learn. We still on W. All this stuff is we still on the first part of win, and I'm saying WIN. We still at the first part of that word, that W. Like I say, win is a big word that we make. It's a 3-letter word. It's small, but win is a big word that sometimes we take too much. We gotta take it step by step, right? So I'm sitting over here, and I'm on this culinary team, and I done told this story before. I want to be on this culinary team, and I never been trained in cooking. Like I've been cooking since I was little, because I didn't like boxed pizza. My mom and dad, if they were sleeping in, or my daddy had to go to work, I'm not getting up and eating cereal. I'm gonna make me some French toast. I'm gonna make me some pancakes, some biscuits, some eggs, some bacon, whatever in there. I'm gonna cook. It got to the point where my brothers knew, my older brother, my little brother, they knew that Victoria is gonna get up and cook. So even if they get up and eat cereal, once they start smelling me cooking, the first thing they gonna do is come out of there and be like, "Is you gonna make enough for everybody?" So I've been making omelets and I've been doing things. So I thought I knew how to cook. I had a gist of cooking. I just didn't know certain techniques, right? So I get on this culinary team with these people who want to win and and who want to cook, who are passionate about what they do. And I'm just like, man, I just like to cook. I want to get better, but I just like this. And I'm like, man, I want to be on this culinary team, but I'm not. I don't got the skills like what these people have. But I wanted to be on the team, so I sat there and I practiced with everybody else. Time and time again, people won, right? People won. They got the positions that they wanted, right? But we still on W, right? They got the positions that they wanted. I just wanted to be on the team. I just wanted to be on the team regardless. I wanted to be an asset to that team. So my culinary skills the first year did not land me on the culinary team. Not by no stretch of the imagination. Did my culinary skills land me on the culinary team. I'm sorry about that, y'all. My work ethic did. My work ethic landed me on the culinary team. And I was just a runner. And a runner in hindsight, if somebody was to go down, I would have to fill in. So the person that like I said is the weakest link, truly, is supposed to be the strongest person on the team. Like your runner, if somebody goes down, you have to know how to do that product. You have to know how to do that phase, whether it's breaking down chicken, fish, whether it's doing classical cuts. You are that person that has to fill in. So that's an important role. But I got what I wanted. I got to be on a team. That's what I wanted to do was be on that culinary team, and that's what I got to do was be on that culinary team. And then I got to come back a second year. So my wants was still wanting to be on the culinary team, but now I'm interested. We're going into that eye of when now I'm interested in other positions. Like I'm interested in actually competing. Like I want to be on this culinary team, but now I want to break this chicken down fast. Now I want to learn how to do these classical cuts the correct way. Now I want to learn how to make a dish. Now I want to understand and I'm interested in. Let's keep with the words, right? Now I'm interested in the concept and the techniques of cooking. Now my wants and my interests are aligning with each other. And it's all gonna add up for me to do it, for me to win. For me to win. So now I'm interested in I always been a Food Network baby. A lot of the techniques, a lot of stuff, a lot of ideas are just a lot of knowledge period. I will watch Food Network from sun up to sundown. I got a few shows on TV that I watch, but I will watch Food Network from sun up to sundown because I study it. I study different like 9 times out of 10 people do the same 3 or 4 techniques, but the way that they season this stuff, the concept of flavors that they build, you get to learn the sweet and the sour and the tangy and the spicy and the mellow. Like you learn this stuff. Just like I've learned on a culinary team, but repetition. So now my brain is starting to put together. Now my brain is starting to put together. Okay, most of the time is if I'm watching Chopped or I'm watching some type of mystery basket, if they give it to people, if they give it something pre-made or pre-fucked, canned food, they're frying it or they're sautéing this or they're only breaking down as much of the meat as they need. They're making sure that they do this. They have a concept of an area of a flavors that they want. If they're gonna do Korean or Asian fusion or they're gonna do that, like your brain's starting to work like that. So now what I want is to better my skills and my interests are lining up. So when I go back that second year, not only do I get to compete on the team, sorry about that. Not only do I get to compete on the team, I get to go back as the team captain. So still my work ethic and my interest is lining up. I'm getting what I want and what I'm interested in. I never wanted to be team captain. Still, once again, I don't have the. I still say I'm not probably the least qualified on the team. We had some heavy hitters. We had some people just understood concept and trusted their instincts, and they could cook their tail off. I'm just regular. regular. Hey, I just want to be on the team. I'm interested in this. I'm interested in people. You the team captain. I'm like, what? I don't even got like a main thing. Like I'm competing. Not only did I go back my second year on the culinary team and I was able to compete on the team, I was also able to compete in my own category. Like I did my own solo by myself. And when I competed in my own solo by myself, I had a man pull me to the side, like I'm freaking out. You know, you do competition, like your brain is you trying to be cool as a cucumber on the outside, but you freaking out. So I got this chicken cooking. I got this chicken cooking, and I'm steady temping it, and it's saying like 30 something degrees. Mind you, 30 anything 32 below is frozen, right? I know this chicken ain't frozen, but my thermometer is on Celsius. Celsius. So hindsight 2020, I'm just freaking out and I'm trying to be calm as a cucumber on the outside, but I'm freaking out. I'm like, man, like I'm trying to and like my coach said, he's saying like pull it out. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So when I get over there, I don't went over like 10 minutes and they was like, you would have had a silver medal if you wouldn't have went over in time. If you wouldn't have went over, and then I took it. I'm like, all right, I appreciate you. I take it. They like, I want you to come back next year. So me and my coach walk away. Hey, I want you to be proud of yourself. This, that, and the third. And then one of the chefs come up and tell me that bacon jam was one of the best things that he had at that competition that day. And he was like, if you take that jam and you sell it, you won't be in the service too much longer. And I say that story all the time because it was a powerful moment for me because, like I said, what he was talking about, I wasn't interested in. Like my coach had taught me how to make it, and I tweaked the way that he made it, and he told me make it the way that you make it, don't make it the way that I showed you, because the way that you making it is better. It's just different. His was a bit more of the red wine vinegar, and mine was just a little bit more of the sweet and it's like it's bacon jam, so it's more of the sweet and the savory because I added a little bit more sugar than what he taught me because I like the way that the sugar caramelized and it was easy for me to play with the jam and mold the jam. But I'm saying all that to say my wants and my interests start lining up. I got very interested in food and concepts and flavors and still, hard work going accompanied along. So about my last year in Washington State, I met a master sergeant. I think master sergeant only knew me for like 9 months, 8 months, or something like that, and she would just come in and observe. So we was able. A lot of people don't. How can I say it for my non-military people? We end up winning like best restaurant throughout the whole army, right? And one of the menu items is actually a recipe that I constructed. Another thing that I tweaked. It was like the orange chicken or whatever, orange juice. Like we're making this thing from scratch, tweaking it the way that I did the bread and all of that. I made it up, right? And once again, don't get me wrong, like it was a team effort. I'm just talking about this specific product because we had a wonderful person in charge of us. It's the reason that we won that, right? Like it was able to make the team come together. So I'm just saying on this one specific product to come up and construct the menu, to actually build the menu from start to finish, I had the input on that. And it all started with me wanting at 14, 15, signing a contract at 17, 18 to be a cook. And then me getting interested once I got to see the other side of it and knowing like I could cook. Like anybody could cook, but I'm decent at it and I could be better. Like it's some people out here that can actually cook their tails off, right? Well, my interests aligned up with what I wanted. So I had this master son tell me like, you don't need to get lost in the defect, and she told me to drop a packet for the job that I do now. And I'm like, nah. I'm a type of person that I don't like, BS. I don't like the up and down. Like it's just weird. I don't feel like I'm gonna fit into where you're trying to send me at. I'm not that type of person. Like I don't work well with those type of people. And then I became that type of person, and that's not in a bad way. I mean, I actually got to come and see that you are whatever you choose to be. So now I'm sitting over here, and this is supposed to be the top of the top, the 1%, 1%. In about a year, almost a year of me being here, I was able to get a very, how can I say it, like a highly wanted position. And I'm just saying all that to say, how did I get to this point of sitting on this beach in Puerto Rico? And like I said, I've been to all these different places, but now it's in a reflection phase. Like I'm getting ready to leave soon. Not saying my traveling is going to stop because I've been taught on how to win. I understand the concept of winning now. So now that I'm interested in traveling and I want to travel, I want to travel and I'm interested in travel. I know that it's ways that you can do it, not the way that people tell you, right? So now I'm sitting here, I'm cooking, and I'm a person just like anybody. You have people, your food. Some people like your food. Some people say your food nasty. Some people say your food good. So, but now I have these people who are these higher up, these elite people who are sending emails to my boss like, "Hey, this food was amazing." I'm having people who we have a lot of things go wrong on a mission, but their survey says the food was the highlight of the flight, and I'm the one in the back cooking. This person who was mediocre on a culinary team. This person who was never the star player on the culinary team, never the star player in the cookware at all. Never won big. I got a couple silver medals, got a couple bronze medals. Never just huge. This is, hey, I'm getting recognized for these different things, right? And I'm just saying that to say it's a part of winning. When your wants and your interests line up, what you need follows. What you need, it works together. But you have to chew off small pieces. And so what do I mean about things that I need? I have a job that provides me more money than I can't say that I need, but I'm comfortable. Besides like my family issues going on, you need help, this, that, and third. But this job is more money that I would have seen at the age of 22. And I'm 26 at the moment, right? I've been here 4 years. This is more money than I would have seen if I would have just stayed regular. The experience, like my podcast, not saying that I wouldn't have still had a stellar podcast, not saying that my family members still wouldn't have got cancer and I would have wanted to do a podcast, or my grandmother wouldn't have got paralyzed and I still wanted to do a podcast. But my podcast, the mindset and the outlook that I'm able to bring to this podcast, a lot of people are not able to bring to a podcast. I watch daily of people getting their passports and doing this and they're going to these places for the few times. I'm like, I done been there. Or like, man, I done been there. London, Prague, France. You like Mexico, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Chile, Argentina. You know the list goes on. You like, I've been there. Like that's cool. Like you hear rappers, celebrities, comedians, anybody brag on these places. Like I worked this hard in life to be able to afford to be here, and I worked this hard in life to get paid to be here. And I tell you what's crazy about this episode. I'm sitting there on the treadmill. I'm working out. I was either treadmill or bench pressing. It's not important, right? But I'm sitting on the treadmill wherever and I'm working out, and I'm listening to Eric Thomas because I just listened to the little random little videos on YouTube, right, where they got like the mashup of all the different people speaking. They call it like motivational this and motivation that, but it's really mindset. These people mindset got them to the position that they're at. So I'm listening to this, and I hear him say it's a piece that comes on, and he says, "I didn't pay for my first trip to Dubai." And I'm sitting over there like, man, I'm getting ready to shoot a podcast talking about how I didn't pay for none of my trips to some of these places. Berlin, Prague, I didn't pay for none of these places. I was paid to be there. I'm like, man. So he's sitting over there and he's like, I did not pay for my first trip to Dubai. Or nor did I pay, and I got to take my wife. I think he said their tickets was like $35,000 or something. Like whoever he brought over, whatever the team he brought over, one of his buddies wanted to drive a Lamborghini or something like that. And they like, oh well, my wife owns that, or what? Or I wanted to drive this, and it was like, well, one of them was like, I want to drive this car. And he like, I own that. I could get it delivered to you, I brought to you to drive. And then it was like, oh, my wife, man, I'm sorry, The other car his wife had, and he's like, well, my wife drives that car. I can get it to you. And once again, I'm just saying, like, people winning. Like, if you fought, some people be like, man, I gotta make this money. I gotta sit here and I gotta do this or I gotta do that. When you actually focus on what I want, what am I interested in, and what do I need to get that? That is winning. WIN. That is winning. What am I interested? What do I want? What am I interested in? And what do I need to make that happen? And a lot of people, like, you look at successful people or you look at people, because it's a lot of people who are who envy me or are jealous of me, and I sit there like, do you think you want to walk in these shoes? Like, I'd be confused. I'd be like, do you really want to trade places? I know I don't want to trade places with you because I don't know what you've been through. But I promise you, you do not want to trade places with me either. It's not easy, but people just see the win. People see the completed word, like they winning in life. You get paid to travel. Oh, you got this money, you do this, you do that. But I'm like, I don't got no more money than you do. I'm not no better than you are. At a young age, that people sometimes we get caught up on our decisions, but at a young age, or and it's even self reflection and self evaluation that I had to go back to and figure out with myself. Because you make mistakes and you beat yourself up, and you're like, man, I'm losing, or I'm learning, or whatever. I'm tired of these lessons, and you don't realize how much winning that you've been doing. If I go back and like I said all the time, if I go tell this child from Pleasant Grove who's getting picked on by her name, by grown women and men and whatever, by her name being spelled different, that, hey, when you're 22, when you're 20, like, you're gonna see your name spelled like that in billboards. You're gonna see your name spelled like that in gold plaques. You're gonna see your name spelled like that and with cafe and bar at the end of it. You think that little girl would believe me? I'll be like, man, if you can get your ass out my face. That's not my mama. My mama can't spell. That's what them teachers saying. Why my mama spell my name like that? Don't be telling me that my name gonna be in no gold plaques and my name gonna be saying corporate cabin attendant. The hell is wrong with you? This is Pleasant Grove. I'm gonna be in jail or fighting. I ain't about to be. What you talk about? Talking about what? Berlin. What the hell is that? And I'm being funny, but I'm saying, like, you don't understand. Like, I sit there and I'm like, man, okay, you wanted this, you got it. You was interested in it, and you got it. And then getting this, going through all these situations. Look at the win. Look at what you need. Look at what's needed. Sometimes we get caught up like, I want, or I'm interested, or I want the baddest the baddest car on the planet. But are you really interested in cars? Are you interested in what cars bring? Do you really want the baddest car on the planet, or you want the attention that comes with having the baddest car? And I'm just saying, because people get caught up like, man, I want that car. What you want that car for? What do you know about cars? Where is the engine? What is the components of the engine? And not even just saying, like, you got to know how to put it together, break it up. But if you want things and you really want things, you get interested in them. Any woman I have ever pursued, anything that I have ever pursued, I wanted it and I got interested in it. I want you to know that I'm interested in you, so I learn things about you. Men, women, whatever, kids, any job. I'm interested about it, so I'm going to learn things about you. This aviation, you a cook. I might not need this. Probably won't need this when I leave, but I don't know, but I'm interested in it. Why do this happen like this? Why do this rig set up like this? So I wanted to be a great cabin attendant, so I got interested in aviation. Not just what people told me, not just the information that was so-called available to me. I got interested in aviation. And it gave me everything that I needed. Because I ended up being a flight instructor before people that were supposed to be flight instructors. Because my rank, I'm like, man, I'm a sergeant. You got all these staff sergeant, you got all these people. I was the youngest person for the longest at my job. And as far as I've seen, I'm still the youngest person that has came to this job. It's still people young. You got people 24. You got people 23. I can't hear 22. And not only did I come here, I showed up and I performed. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, I had my struggles. I had plenty of things where I wanted, like I say, I wanted to perform great on my PT test, but I wasn't interested in working out the way that I needed to. It don't work. It doesn't work. Like people be thinking, oh man, it's just a lesson. It's just a lesson. But as long as your wants and your interest is not lined up, you're gonna have a bunch of lessons. You could call it lesson, learning fade, or whatever. If your interest does not line up with your wants, you're gonna have a bunch of lessons. Bunch of lessons. Here we go again. Lesson, 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 lesson. There's nothing wrong with it. That's how you want to do it. Mental health, whatever. But I'm telling you, if you want to win from a person, from perspective of myself and other people that is so called winning. And I ain't gonna say so called, I ain't gonna downplay it, right? I'm winning, right? No matter what goes on in my life, how many ups and downs go, I'm winning. Like you said, I'm like, man, like I get paid. Another trip coming up, another place that people have to pay to go. I'm gonna be paid to be there on that beach. I'm gonna be paid to be back in my home state. Paid to do these things. Regardless if I look at it as my salary check that rolls around or the little per diem that gets thrown my way, I'm paid to be here, to these experiences, to soak it up. And I'm so interested in people, and I'm so interested in personal development and personal growth, and helping other people do the same thing and mindset that I soak up everywhere that I go. So now, once again, my wants and my interests align. Anything that you want to do, once you make your wants and your interests align, your needs is going to come and you winning. A lot of people want to be in the entertainment world. You want to be a rapper. It's producers, it's cameramen, it's A&R reps, it's freaking labels. Like it's so many people that make more money than them rappers. Them rappers is paying them people that I'm talking about. Producers, songwriters, excuse me, y'all. Them rappers is paying them people, but hey, this come with that. I want to be a rapper so bad. Okay, and ain't nothing wrong with that. So study. What you want to be a rapper? So get interested in rappers. Get interested in the rappers that you want to be like. Get interested in the rappers you want to be like, and that need that oh this and that gonna come. Like you want to be a rapper, you get interested in a rapper. The stuff that you need to do is gonna follow because you watching it. And I think that's what comes in. Like I say, when it's this small word, but it's so big, and like people make it. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this, and then you feel like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Maybe it's the way that you saying it, but like shit, I don't need to do nothing. Like I ain't gotta do nothing but stay back and die. Like what you telling me I need to do? How is it you want to save money, but you're not interested in no type of self help? Because people think I need to be interested in a money book. You need to be interested. I ain't gonna say how I say it. I don't want to say it the wrong way. It's 1,000 books out there that you can read and you can get some type of whatever to do money, right? But if you don't really like, I want money, you're going to get money. What do you want to do with that money? I want my money to make other money. Find you somebody know how to invest. Read them books. Because no matter how much money I get, I always say, like I have a decent amount of money, but it's still never enough to help people that I want to help. Like you have somebody sick, you have somebody going through cancer, like you have family members that constantly need something. You have school, like you have stuff that goes on, and people think, well, I get money for school, I get this for school, I get my tuition paid for, but I'm not getting a school check. Like this is paycheck, this is Uber. You know what I'm saying? Like this is this extra money that comes from here and there. This is hustle. This is grind right here. This win is not just out of the blue. Like, oh, that person went off into the service and they just did that. Like, no. So you sit there and you like, I want money. You're gonna get money. But by the time you get $3 might be only equivalent to two. Especially when you bounce around the world. You learn so much like, this place is cool and they talk about this place. Like Miami. Expensive. It's a beach. All of the beaches, no matter where I've been to, they are the same. They the same. They don't argue with me. They the same. You can't argue with me. I'm not gonna argue with you. So you can like tell they the same. They the same. They the same. They the same. Like the beaches are the same. I go to a beach and the water is calming to me. I go to sleep. That's what I do on the beach. I get in the water for a little bit. I'm going to sleep. That's what I do. Any beach, any beach, any beach. But I'm just saying that to say that people get caught up in like, I want to go to Miami. Why you want to go to Miami? It's expensive. It's expensive and it's overpriced. Don't get me wrong. You want to go to Miami? Figure out why you want to go to Miami. I want to go to Miami because I'm interested in the culture and the things that Miami have. Take your butt to Miami. Or what you need to do to get to Miami it'll happen. All right, I want to go to Miami. I'm interested in Miami. How can I travel to Miami? How can I travel to Miami? You sit there and be like, man, well, I could pay for it. That's one thing. Like I said all the time, rich people, even I don't say it. Drug dealers. Some of them pay bills. Some of them don't got a pot to pee in and a window to throw it out of. Like they got money, but the responsibilities is not the same. But hey, rich people do the same thing. Like what is it? What if every don't get me wrong, rich people have bills, but what is it that I want to pay? I want to go and I'm interested and I want to pay. Rich, it's not the same. That's a mentality that I feel like poor and lower class people are taught. Like I want it, I need to save for it, I need to spend. Now, how do I get there? Just like I said, you looking at a person that at 26, if I close my eyes tomorrow and they put a postcard of everywhere that I've been, and if the postcards numbered the times that I've been, even the states alone will fill up. I've been to every state. It'll fill up the front of my my casket, my urn, whatever. Other side, cremated, buried, whatever. Wherever it is, it'll fill it up. Brochure, the places that Viktoriya Moore has traveled. I've been there. I did that. I've been there. I did that. I didn't pay myself to go do that. I didn't go pay to go to Berlin. I didn't pay to go to Prague. I didn't freaking pay to go to Afghanistan. I didn't pay to go to Qatar. Like it came with the job. It came with the wants and the interest in what I needed lined up. We get caught up in people who have not I'm gonna say that. Yes I do. Yes I do. We get caught up in people that is not even doing our version of winning, but we make it like, oh, they winning, that's what I want to do. And don't get me wrong, like some of these trips are short lived, but it's no different than some of the rappers that go bounce around, or some of the comedians, like comedians, actresses, blah blah blah. Like if you're not shooting on location for a long time and you're working, you're gonna go on stage, do what you're supposed to do, and then you're gonna bounce around to another place. You got a jet waiting for you at another place. And then you're gonna bounce around and you got a jet waiting for you to take you to another place. What's so cool about my job, I work in the air. So once I get in the air, if it's the downtime, it's downtime. You make downtime to go see and go do things. Even if it's pick up souvenirs, get enough of the fresh oxygen in your lung from another state or another place to just experience food or whatever. You make time to go do that. Some of these papers, some of these places I done been to, I probably have seen more than the rappers or the actresses. Because just like work comes with this thing, you're tired. So of course I want to go back to some of these places without work or without doing the same job. Like I say, Eric Thompson, he got flyed out. He was flued out to Dubai. And that's another thing. Like it's funny, flew out, flew me out, flew me out. It was like this big thing. It was funny, but it's plenty of females that get him flown out, flued out, that's not doing anything. They found a way to win. I'm interested in travel. I mean, I'm sorry. I keep correcting myself. I want to travel. I'm interested in travel. How can I do it? I'm interested. I want to meet some cool guys. I'm interested in wealthy men. How do I do it? What you need is gonna follow, or the things that you need to do to help you win is gonna follow. Winning step by step. Like I say, in order to become a thousandaire, in order to gain your first dollar, your first penny, to make you a thousandaire, a freaking hundred or whatever, there, billion, million, trillionaire, whatever. You start with making your first dollar, first $10, first $100, and then you do that again and again. So in order to keep winning, you find things that you want and that you interested in. Like if you want to keep winning, if you want to keep winning at a marriage, matter of fact, shout out to my best friend. Shout out to my best friend. She just married the love of her life Saturday. Last Saturday. So we go use them, right? We go use them. You you want this you want to win in marriage. You continue to be understanding like I want to win. So I'm interested in winning in marriage. And then you figure out what I need to do to continue to win in my marriage. Whether that's working on yourself, steady being communicative and with your partner, growth, self reflection, bettering, all of that comes into winning to have this healthy marriage. Okay, if I want to win with my marriage, I have to win with me personally. It's just like a relationship. Like I want to win in this relationship, I have to win. I have to want to win and be there and be interested and figure out what I need for myself. Because you can't win in a you can it's temporary, right? So you can win in a relationship, but eventually it'll crash if you haven't won within yourself. It doesn't mix. And then you feel like, man, another lesson learned. But you go keep learning that same lesson until you get it in order. If you go back and you look at it like, man, I got this job. And you think about, man, I played these people. I got this job. I know a chick right now, every time a job, she don't want to do a job, she quit. And she gets some good jobs. It irked my nerves, but she figured out what she wanted. I want to do what I want to do. I'm interested in doing what I want to do. So what I need to do what I want to do. Bounce around from jobs. And I'm saying it to be funny, but at the same time, like it's real. You get some good jobs, making 65, whatever, like you get decent jobs. And like I say, I'm just saying all this to say we get so caught up in winning. And sometimes people make winning competitive. Oh well, I'm beating this person. Are you? I'm winning because I'm doing this and I done did things that people haven't did. So what? What do you want? Like the notebook. What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? What do you want? You gotta get tell you what do you want? What interests me? If I want this, does this thing interest me? I want the baddest female on the whatever. I want a female that's going I want this okay, but do the baddest female or whatever you think you want interest you? I want to get healthy, so I'm gonna work out. But does eating right interest you? Does changing the people that you hang around interest you? You need to do all these things to win, right? Don't try to put your end or your interest, because sometimes people get caught up and seem like they're doing everything because they interest. I'm interested in this, I'm interested in that, I'm interested in this, I'm interested in that. Keep them in order. What do you want? Or figure out how to rearrange them. Okay, I'm interested in this. I want to do this. I need to do this. What you doing? I'm putting my win in order. People already think I'm crazy. Don't make me no different. Like I said all the time, the way I think, I feel like is what make me great. It what makes me great. Like, man, God, you bless me to look at stuff like this. And not only did you bless me to look at things like this, like every now and then you show me like, okay, I'm not the only person that think like this. Okay, they talking about the same thing. They worded a little bit different, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I say overthinking, understanding. Like, man, I need to win, so I need to get on there, and I need to. I want to get a degree, so I need to go to. I know I want to take my tail to school, and I need this degree to get this job. What do you want to do? Because if you want to get that degree because you're interested in this job, let's break it down. Want okay? I need to go to school because I want this job, and I'm interested in doing this for this job. Okay, so how can I bring that W over here? What do I really want? I want this job. Okay, so to what I need to do this job. Okay, hold up. Let's put in my N too close to my W. That ain't how you spell it. Okay, let's slide this over here. What interests me about doing this job? Can I go to school for something that interests me that ties into this job? I just put your W in order for you. I'm sorry, I just put your win in order for you. Now you got what interests me. I'm sorry, what I want to do, which is get this job, what interests me and what I need to do in order to be successful and get this job. Just put it in order for you. Okay, I want this job. This interests me, so I need to do this. So not only do I need to school, I need to go to this school for this. Or, hey, these people don't care what degree I have. I need to go to this school because I could graduate this school quicker. They got an accelerated program that I can afford. You just won. So boom, once you come there, you get that job. Boom, well, you got a degree in this. What? And you interested, you wanted this job and you interested in it, so you still got other things that come along, but now you got that piece of paper that the job wants. Just to my fans, if you're a casual listener, what? Stop telling people what. Stop letting people tell you what you need to do to win. Because I'm telling you, I take criticism from people. I listen to people's perspective because it makes you better, right? But one thing that I have stopped doing, I like, and I I mean, at all. I don't listen to people. I hear them. I got you. But I do not listen to people who's trying to teach me how to win that is not winning. If I look you in the face and I'm like, you doing the same thing that I'm doing or whatever, like I say, I hate I don't like dissecting or picking apart. Like, you're not doing what I want to do. Let's keep it as simple as that. What I want and what interests me, you not on. And don't get me wrong, it's vice versa. Y'all might not be doing the same thing, but what you want and what interests you, you could pull from people. It's all about you and your mindset and being able to, what is it, discernment? For you to differentiate. Discernment is the right word, but everybody don't believe, right? So for you to differentiate from what you need, what's important. If you go to the scrapyard and well, I don't know, they still got scrapyards. Well, if you go to the scrapyard back in the day, whatever, I don't know if they still got them. But my daddy will lose a gasket or like the little thing to cover your gasket, right? To cover the car or whatever. You lose that right there. If you lose that, you ain't going to the scrapyard looking for freaking tires. You're going to go look for a seals to close your gas tank up. So yeah, you could go to the junkyard and they offer all this stuff, but you like, what I'm interested in is a gasket. You got a car that I can take a gasket off of. I hope that's the right word. If not, you know what the heck I'm talking about. Still to this day, I did it earlier. I had it, and I don't think, and like I say, it's not for people like I'm being funny, but at the same time, it's just like I don't share my winnings or my interests or my thought process with people that it's no help to me, right? So if you sitting there asking me what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do, this, that, and the third, I'll make you sound like I ain't got no future for nothing. I don't know. Oh yeah, I want to do this. I want it. You enough know, cause you can't help me get there. You can't help me win. So why would I let you dissect? That feel like you infiltrating my plan. You don't need to know that. Stop listening. Stop listening to people tell you how to win when they don't know themselves how to win. Or they got their wants and interests. They got want. I want money. I want to go on vacation. I want a bad bitch. I want a fine ass husband. I want to get married. They got they man, they win so stressed out. They win. What song is that? They got that thing stressed out. That's R. Kelly. Don't cancel me. I'm just playing. You can cancel me. I don't give a damn. But they got they win stressed out. Win. Oh, they got that W stressed out. And like I said, he ain't talking about the same win we talk about, but you get the gist. It is stressed out. You got too many W's in a row. Then you got your interest all over the place. Then what you need to do is just, man, I need to pay bills. I need to go to the gym. I need like it gets crazy, and that plays on your mental health because people try, like I say, overthinking, understanding. In order for you to control overthinking, you have to understand. Yeah, y'all see it? Check that merch out. And if y'all don't see it, come to the YouTube so you can see it. But overthinking, understanding it, in order for you to stop overthinking, get that perspective of an eagle who rarely you see, but he see you. Like you can't trip. If you was able to have a bird's eye view, a plane eye view of everything, you wouldn't trip on so much. But if I'm riding in the car and I run into traffic, how crazy would it be if I'm able to be like, all right, let that bird eye view go up? How much the GPS say one thing? Oh, okay. So right at before my exit, it the traffic lighten up. I bet you that ride would be more smoother in the car instead of you, man. Man, God dang, the GPS steady. You got a bird's eye view, you chilling. So like I say, I'm gonna end this part of it. We're gonna get into the segment social, heartfelt, and informative things on the internet. But I'm gonna end this episode like I keep saying. Stop letting people tell you how to win when they don't even understand how to win. Like I try so hard to take in from everybody because I felt like they know more than me. They better than me. They this, they that. They don't know how to win no more than you do. They got more wants. They was interested in more things, and they playing between the two. Or they had more wants and interests than what they needed is laid out. So they had more of their wins in order. Small victories win wars. Small victory win wars. Small victory win. You studying every small bits and pieces. You go to school, you ain't just knocking out unless you clip in a class. Like you ain't. You still gotta study. So regardless, small things win wars. In order for you to run 2 miles, you gotta run 2 steps. In order for you to run 2 miles, you gotta walk. In order for you to run 2 miles, you gotta put your shoes on and your clothes on and get dressed. Like it's that simple. It's that simple. Like I say, overthinking, understanding. We know this stuff, but we get so caught up and we let people tell us, "Oh, this how you win. This how you win. This how you get about your business." What the hell? People don't know what the hell they talking about. These people just talk. Somebody told them that. You sit down and be like, "Okay, what you want? What you interested in? What you mean? Like, I want money. I want this. I want that. I want you to see me. I want fame. I want." You like, okay, so like, how you winning? Tell me how you winning. Somebody come to me right now. Tell me how you 8 years in the service. You you got this. You got freaking 500 some promotion points. Like you been 8 years. People 6 years, 4 years, 5 years promoted to E6. How you think you winning? I'm winning. My stuff is on track. No faster, no no slower than what I asked the Heavenly Father for. Like I'm winning. Like I'm winning for real. Like everything I want, everything I'm interested in, everything I need is popping right there. He said, I'm not interested in E6. I want it. Yeah, you want to get promoted. I'm interested in the next rank. Yeah, I'm doing what I need to do to get it. It's coming, so I'm winning. It's coming. And that small victory of winning, now you 3 classes away from an associate's degree. You're like, all right, I'm going to be the second person in my immediate family to graduate college. So you winning. You can't get me to be like, oh, dang, I should have made this rank quicker. Making that rank quicker come with the headache. It's no free promotions in the service. No free promotion and no job. This ain't no slap on the wrist promotion. Now I'm supposed to work at my job and the job above me. Man, oh man, I got other things going on. I'm working on me right now. My wants and my interests and my needs is gonna produce a win. I'm chilling. It's coming, and I can't even say I'm chilling because I'm working hard. I'm doing my school. I'm maintaining a good GPA. I'm working hard to graduate. So like I say, to end this, stop listening to people who are not winning tell you how to win. I look like you in the camera said, because it's it, like it's turned. Where's it at? Right here. Listen. Stop listening to people who don't know how to win. Tell you how to win. They don't know what the hell they talking about. I say it all the time. Whether it's a stripper, drug dealer, businessman, whatever the smart. If they convenience store, if they are successful, they have something to teach you. Cause they won. They got their wants, they interests, and they needs in line in order to win. So that'll wrap up that episode. We go get into social, heartfelt, and informative things on the internet. Shit on the internet for short. I know I'm childish. I like it. I like it. Anyway, so for social, we're gonna talk about P Valley. P Valley. P P Valley. That's my show right now. I could not talk about this show. And the reason that we talking about P Valley because I feel like it's so realistic. It's a show that draws you in. Don't get me wrong, like it's dramatic, right? But there's no different than an action movie being super dramatic. Like you ain't getting shot. Some people, don't get me wrong, can get shot 65 times. You go out there and fight crime every night, and you waking up, no Epsom, they ain't showing no Epsom salt baths, no recoveries, no none of that crap. You just getting up, fighting and doing whatever, taking bullets and what like it's just, P Valley is the same way. Like you get to see a different side on it, and what's so funny about like some of the stuff is like, oh, that's a lot, but it's true. Like some of the things that people say, some of the scenes that happen. Like one of the episodes, it was a female that was so, how can I say it, turned on by another female doing her thing, that she was sexually interested in her. Like I guess she had been sexually interested in women, but not sexually interested enough to ever try a woman. Like it's a show, right? So you could speculate and you could go back and you could think what was in the writer heads all day long. But I'm just saying, like stuff happens like that. Like it's done been real life situations, myself included. Like, bro, you don't even like women, but I like you. I like the way you carry yourself. So now you want me to be. Y'all don't ask for all of that, but then on top of that, I like the fact that this episode, these episodes was shot. I think it's only like 10 episodes a season, and it's like episode 7. Yeah, because episode 8 come out. All I'm saying with that is, it's so in now, like it's in the now, like abortion. Um, what is it? Abortion. The pronouns. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Abortion. Oh, COVID. Like the pandemic. Like they have so much stuff that abortion was just overturned. Was it like last month? And they had an episode aired about abortion last Sunday. It's just crazy how so realistic into life this show is. Like they literally, it's like they literally wanted to bring a show to life about strippers and the other side of stripping and drug dealing and all this other stuff and spiritual and all this stuff, and they got interested in it. So they figured out what they needed to do to make that show a success. So season 2, I want to say it was 1,000% more viewers than they had last year. That is a win. That is a win. You got a homosexual rapper on there that used to, it's like speculated that he used to, well, I guess season, spoiler alert, I'm sorry about that. If you haven't watched it and you're listening to this show, my apologies, right? My apologies. But you had this rapper on there. You got a rapper on there that's homosexual, but still gangster. But he's fighting with this. Even still, I know the town is made up, but I think it's still current, like 2020 or so. 2020, 2021, 2022. Like it's supposed to be current, right? And people still do deal with that. Like you can't be hard and or you can't sleep with a dude and be hard. That's like you can't be like what sense did that make? You can't be gay and do, like, how not? Like it happens. It's some gay dudes that'll beat a straight dude ass. It's a straight dude that'll be like that. It doesn't take the fact of you being a man. It doesn't take that what you're capable of away. But the show is just so dynamic and it like put people in the uproar. But I'm like, this is real. Even from some of the lines that people say, I'm like, man, I done heard that in the bedroom. Like I said, y'all didn't ask for that, but it's true. Like it's my show. Like don't listen to it. But I'm just playing. But I'm being serious. Like it's just realistic. And of course, it's acted out and they acted, so it's a little bit exaggerated. But even exaggeration is realistic. Like if a scene makes you feel uncomfortable, it accomplished what it was supposed to do because it made you feel like that was real. Like these scenes, these fake sex scenes, probably is evoking more emotion than some people watching porn. They like, oh, she's screaming too loud, or this fake, this ain't sounding right. But this fake sex scene, you like these straight dildos. Like you ain't seeing nothing penetrate a dang thing. You just see a bunch of thrusting like it's soft porn. Soft porn. You see that, you watch that. And it makes you uncomfortable. That show did what it's supposed to do. That actor did, and those actors and writers and producers are doing what they were supposed to do. Because it invokes emotion. It's acting out. That's what it do. Like eh, eh, for you to not come from a background and able to portray a background believable, like some people do in the streets, in at home, in their jobs. Like you like this wonderful employee, but your family hates you. Like for you to do that, that is some major acting right there. So shout out to Pville. Like social definitely is going to Pville. Definitely going to people. And like I said, it's on the internet, it's on Showtime. Excuse me, it's on Stars. It's on Stars. Um, and I think it comes on like every Sunday. Like don't misquote me. Like I watch it on Hulu. So I'm not 1,000% sure, but it's dope, right? Next part of the segment, heartfelt. Everybody know I'm a boxing fan. I love boxing. I wish I would have like stayed boxing. I don't like believe in regrets. I don't have a lot of stuff that I look back on and wish like I would have did different. But boxing is one of them. Like I definitely wish I would have stayed into boxing, and I didn't. Boxing and soccer. Like I wish I would have lined those two things up. But Danny Garcia, Danny Garcia. So Danny Garcia had an emotional breakdown after one of his fights, talking about mental health. And I thought this was so interesting because no level. It was another boxer made a comment, another boxer that I like, hometown player, Errol Spence, and he kind of was like, I don't necessarily care about a rich person going through problems. I don't even want to misquote him. Let me see. Let's see, right? It ain't no reason to misquote people, right? So let's see. Let's see. Okay, here it go. It says people trying to figure out how they gonna pay their mortgage or rent every month, etc. Like I said, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care who think what about what fuck I care about. A rich hold on now. It says okay, people trying to figure out how they gonna pay their mortgage or rent every month, etc. Like I said, I don't give a fuck about none of that, and I don't care what. I'm sorry, and I don't care who think what about what the fuck I care about. A rich nigga being depressed, I'm sure my elders felt worse than me. So I thought that was a crazy tweet in the fact of when he said um felt worse than me, it's not necessarily attacking what Danny Garcia is saying, because I felt like he's saying like he's done been there too. Now, like the reason that the father and them said it, and like he was going through all of this, and Errol Spence said, what we ain't even talking about the background, his background too. I'm just talking about this tweet, Danny Garcia breaking down, and his father said, because of the mental issues that he lost against Errol Spence, and Errol Spence wasn't trying to hear this, that, and third. But I'm saying this on the part of Danny Garcia breaking down, and Danny Garcia was saying, no excuses. I said you won fair and square. You were the better man that night. Anxiety and depression is real and can affect, anxiety and depression is real and can affect you. It don't have nothing to do with being rich. Respect 100. So, two parts of that. I think Danny Garcia breaking down in an uncontrollable cry was as heartfelt as you can get because you don't oftentimes see man cry. And I think that it's fascinating that the most time you do see man cry is, going back to this episode, like no pun intended, is when they win. When what they want and what they interested in and what they needed to do to get to that win is accomplished. Like you seen Odell Beckham. Is that his name? Odell? Is it? Did I just put? I said Odell Beckham. No, no, no. Beckham is the soccer player. You know what I mean? Odell. I don't watch football like that, but I'm saying the Rounds player. He cried. He cried when they won the Super Bowl. You see, like Curry basketball. I know that one, right? He cried when they won the was it championship playoffs? Like he cried when that happened. And Danny Garcia, he won in the fight, and he knowing that he won it. Not only did he out perform a man, but he beat himself, or he beat what he was going through. And like I say, what is crazy about the Earl Spence tweet is I tried to do the same thing. Like I said, I have a sibling, a family member close to me fighting cancer, right? So like when I get sick or when my head gets heavy or something happens, I be like, man, my sibling, my family member feels worse than I do. What am I complaining about? But it kind of contradicts what I always say. Like I can't feel your pain. So whether I see you and you communicate, and I know, like I I know it, but I don't know it. So when you try, and everybody got their own coping mechanism, right? And I'm not knocking what Earl Spence said, and Danny Garcia did, or what his father said. No means, right? Because I feel like it's all true. People don't beat you; you beat yourself. Because regardless of how we look at it, like they say, Earl Spence was coming off a car accident, and I watched that fight. I'm a hometown hero. I was in them stands talking trash, like Danny should have took a tune up. That was talking about all his crap against Earl Spence, and I'm like, shit, Danny looked like he should have took a tune up. That Earl Spence was an easy win. Like they talking about numbers and that was a. I'm talking about live and at the fight. I was like talking that shit. I'm like that was a easy win for Earl Spence. But look at where Earl Spence came from. So yes, he came off a car crash, and this is not speculation or nothing like that. I can only speak on what was put into the media and what was said. For whatever reason, him driving fast, drinking, he flipped his car. Nobody flipped his car for him. Like I was involved in a very scary car accident, but I was in the passenger seat. So if Errol Spence homeboy got drunk and was happened to be dropping him off and taking him home or whatever, and he was driving fast and he flipped, then it's like, dang, his homeboy could have ended his career. But Errol Spence could have ended his own career. But like I spoke about on my podcast before, for him to come back from that car accident is a big thing, physically and mentally. For him to come back is a huge thing. But you're looking at two people that's colliding. You're looking at somebody who has been a world champion. Like I said, they both world champions, but Danny Garcia, multi-division world champion. He like Terence Crawford. Like Errol Spence has been 147 his whole pro career. Not amateurs. He fought different way than amateurs, but his whole pro career he's been 147. And like I say, once again, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying like multi-division champion Danny Garcia, and you are a breadwinner for your family. I don't make nearly them people spend my annual salary on watches and cars and probably utilities for houses, paychecks for Danny Garcia and his businesses. Like not making nearly to what they making. And you have and I have that anxiety. And you in depression, like I say, I looked it up, Googled it. It's a mindset that you get stuck in. It's kind of like you can't see, you can't remember that the clouds it's cloudy and it's raining, but the sun is on the other side. It helps me out a little bit more because I work on airplanes, so I know like it could be raining on the ground, and once we get above those clouds, the sun is always out. Literally, the sun is always out, and that sky is blue. I have not seen it any different. You get up high enough that them clouds and it ain't that like it ain't that high. You get above them clouds, it's raining, snowing on the ground. You get above them clouds, the sun is shining beautifully, and you see white clouds. And I'm just saying that, and I'm just saying that to say you can still have anxiety and depression at the top. You could still like you're providing for a whole family. You got all these businesses and sometimes you get it and you feel empty or you work so much and other people benefit off of you. And like I say, for the Danny Garcia and the Errol Spence fight, you're looking at two different mindsets. You're looking at Errol Spence Jr. that he know, and I can't say I don't know the man personally, right? But he takes responsibility for flipping his car and putting himself in an accident that almost took him away from his family and his career and something that he loved to do. He did that. So he's fighting back from everything that came with that, everything that came with that incident. Plus, he got a man in front of him. So he mentally, physically, all that fighting. So now, on top of that, you got this ammo on your back to shut everybody the hell up. Errol Spence not gonna be the same after the car wreck. Errol Spence, Danny Garcia think it's the perfect time to fight me because I'm coming off of a car wreck. I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna show him this not what you want. Then you got a Danny Garcia, and like I say, there's no victim. There's no victim and no like accuser or like aggressor in this. Just saying like both sides, right? You got a Danny Garcia that's this the perfect time. Errol Spence, I'm not my best, but he's not his best either. Two different mindsets, two different ways of thinking coming into that ring. So Errol Spence getting in the ring, putting them things on Danny Garcia. He like, okay, you ain't your best, but you got this. You could beat him right now. And Danny Garcia, like, man, I'm not my best, and I thought I could beat him right now. So like I say, I'm saying on the stage, like rich, poor, whatever, anxiety, depression, mental illness is mental illness. And for Danny Garcia to cry in public and Nike say he didn't get up there and think he was gonna cry. He was gonna say what he wanted to say. This was quoted from him, right? But he didn't know that he was gonna cry. So him sitting up there crying and talking about that, is plenty of people that deal with that. I got to tell people all the time, I'm a daddy's girl. I see both sides. I see 3, 4, 5, 6 different sides. I know what it's like to pick somebody up off of the ground. People that you ain't a man. What man is human? Man got emotions. For you to be a provider and you want your family to win and you want your spouse to win and you want your kids to win and you can't figure out, like I say, time back to this episode, putting your W and your I and N's in order, you get anxiety. Anxiety, you look so far into the future, you can't control the future, but you want to control the future. Depression, you stuck like, this ain't gonna get no better. I'm not gonna get up out of this feeling. Or this just, everybody goes through that. I wasn't getting, like, I'm not, I could sit there, I could watch movies that invoke emotion, I could hear slave stories, but I still could never sit there and somebody with me. Racism, prejudice, being wrongly accused, falsely accused, profile. I could talk about this stuff. It didn't happen to me. I can't talk about working in no hot fields. I can't talk about getting whipped and picking cotton and just the actual effects. I can only think like they had it worse. So what? You got it bad too. If you got it bad, you got it bad. Like I said all the time, like parents try to do it. Like, oh, when I was growing up, we had 10-cent shoes. We bought you 20-cent shoes. Well, shit, shoes ain't 20 cents no more. Your 10-cent shoes that you didn't want and these $20 shoes I don't want, still the same shoes. So whatever the depression or whatever, you got a man slave sitting there, his family, his wife gotta get talked to crazy by a white man or a black man or Hispanic or Asian, whatever the hell had slaves back in the day. You gotta sit there and get talked crazy to by this people. You gotta make what happened for your family. It's the same thing. If you got a family or something to take care of, or you want more out of life, it's hard. If you're broke and you paying, and or you can't figure out how to pay rent to rent, or like Aerospace say, mortgage and rent and what the fuck ever, it's hard. They both hard. They are both hard. It's not no comparing it because they both hard. You think that you been able, if you able to afford your rent I'm able to afford my rent every month. I don't worry about it. But at the same time, I can't afford for my siblings' cancer medication every month. So you go fucking tell me because I can afford my rent every month that I don't get sad, that I don't get depressed, and I'm not saying like ain't no shot at none of the expense. Like I said, I'm just saying the tweet is completely subjective, right? That I understand both sides of it. That you could try to that if that's good, whatever helps you win. Think about it like that. Oh, my ancestors had it worse. That only lasts for so long. That still doesn't take away your pain at night. That still doesn't take away you not wanting. Now, like I say, I'm not saying him. I'm saying period. That still doesn't take away you not being feeling like you able to talk to somebody. It still doesn't take away you being lonely in a room full of people. That still doesn't take away that you feeling like you don't know what the future hold and you want to know what the future hold. It doesn't take any of that away. It just calms you as long as you believe it. So like I said, shout out to Danny Garcia. You know, shout out to Aerospace too, but shout out to Danny Garcia that crying like you need more stuff like that. And I feel like you need more of it because it shows people like you're not alone. And like I say, the end of that tweet, like for Aerospace to say my ancestors had it worse than me, you like he goes through it too. And I'm not saying like, oh, he ain't talked about this and that. Like I say, completely subjective. Just this tweet, their fight, the situation that surrounded that. That's all I'm talking about. We can go down a whole rabbit hole. We're not. Like, that's what we talking about. This is what happened. This is how it happened. And it went down like that. So like I said, shout out to Danny Garcia. More of that is needed. I hope more men feel comfortable getting help. You know, like I say, I love the fact that I'm somebody that my father could talk to. And like and it's not just like my teenagers, like we grew together. Like it's almost like a feeling. I'm able to communicate like, hey, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. Or if you do this, I'll let you know right now. Like it's yours, whatever. But I ain't forgiving you. Come on, like, or like, hey, it's okay for you to feel that way, but we need to get to the bottom. Or like, it's okay not to be okay. What we doing? I hope every person gets to get to a place like that because I feel like it's needed. It's nothing. It's nothing that feels better than somebody showing you that I see you and that I understand, and not even and even if they don't understand that I'm here with you. Like you might not feel it, it might not be, but I'm here with you. Whatever capacity that you need to be, I'm here with you. Because guys go through it. Women go through it. Anybody that's in charge of something and they make it, they go through it. It's kids that's going through it. That feel like I have to be strong for my parents. So like I say, shout out to Danny Garcia for that. Informative. Monkeypox. Monkey freaking pox. Monkeypox got me freaked out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like laughing earlier. I seen a guy on TikTok talking about I want the stimulus, just give us a stimulus check and shut us back down. And I think it's funny because during the pandemic, COVID, it's a virus, right? You don't necessarily have like what I'm trying to say, like physical effects, like what monkeypox. You got these blisters and these things on the face, like you look infected. And I think it's funny as humans, like if something don't look infected, then we cool with it. But if you look infected, oh, shut us down. We need to be shut down. Like you look infected, get shut down. You look infected, no, you need to get shut down. Like what we doing? What we doing? Like just shut this stuff down. This ain't working. And I like I say, I just think it's funny because like monkeypox, it says it's been 3,591 cases in 46 states. That's a lot. And I want to say the article I looked up, it said including Puerto Rico, and that was 8 days ago. Yeah. and it started off like they were saying that it's a sexually transmitted disease from gay people or gay males or whatever. However, just like they used to say with AIDS, like toilet seats and gay people, but everybody can get AIDS. Anybody can get AIDS. I feel like monkeypox is the same way. Be safe. I feel like people are going to be. I can't even say people are going to be even more cautious because I really can't tell. Like after the pandemic, I wear my mask everywhere, and even me being in the service, like it's plenty of service members like just don't want to wear a mask whether regardless they feel like I had it and I can get it again, which you can get COVID again once you had it, or they just like it don't matter, whatever. I'm wearing a mask. Whether they think it I'm wearing a mask, I'm keeping my distance. We don't need to be that close. But I feel like monkeypox, I ain't saying it's not gonna spread because was it like smallpox? Is that it? Smallpox, chicken pox and stuff like that, like it's spread, it happens. Like an outbreak is an outbreak, especially when we don't really know what caused it. You get so much information, just like COVID. Like the CDC just wakes up and be like, if you blink 3 times and you inhale, you getting COVID. It's just like, damn, well, I guess I ain't gonna blink 3 times in a row and inhale. Like like you start feeling like y'all just making up shit at this point. But monkeypox, I feel like because it is such a outbreak. Like it's on your skin, it's on your face. Like you actually got to get up and see it. Don't get me wrong. Like COVID sucked. I feel like I was dying. Not gonna lie, but I just feel like as people, if something is threatening to messing up your face, messing up your lips, your genitalia, whatever, you're more likely to be a little bit more cautious. So please just be careful because monkeypox is real. I don't, you know, regardless of whatever name they give it, whatever, it is real. They could name it lizard pox, scales. I don't give a damn. It is real. People is breaking out with these bumps on their face and their genitals. It looked like one guy I seen the video. It looked like he had strep throat. Cause I had strep over so it looked like he had strep. Like it's just like it's too much. It's nasty. It's nasty. Be careful out there. Protect yourself. Like don't be all up in people's face. Just touch and run. We ain't there. Like hey, what's up? I see you. Like we need to practice hand gestures at this point. Like, hey, what's going on? I see you. Yeah, how you doing? Hug, no, thank you. Hey, what's up? Yeah, Air 5, Air Doubt. Hey, something. Not no touching. Don't be kissing people, kids. And I just say that. I just had my nephew. But you know what I mean. Like, don't be kissing, rubbing, front strength. Don't just be careful. The crap is whether you. That's what always blow my mind about people. Like whether you believe something is real or not, it still happens. Like COVID is not real. People, parents died from COVID. Like cancer is not real. The government gives to however the hell it happens. People's siblings and family members are dying from this. Like this is not real. It's still happening. Inflation and recession is not real. People are still broke. Depression is not real. People still killing themselves. Like it don't matter whether you believe it or not. It doesn't stop it from happening. This is not stand in a corner, cut off the news, cut off the whatever, and just bury your head in between your ass, and then it's like it don't happen. Like it still happen. Once you get your head out your ass, you're gonna see the world, and it's still gonna be happening. However, it's happening, and the real reasoning that it's happening, we don't know. I'm in full agreement. It's happening. It's happening though. So protect yourselves. Protect yourself. And then things on the internet. I don't think I had nothing for I don't really think I had nothing for just things on the internet. I stay watching a bunch of dog videos. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think I don't really like talking about the most reoccurring thing I seen Instagram with the new rollout using reels. I think half of them bots. Like it's just weird. Like one of my videos, 200 views. One of my videos, 100 views. Vice versa. Each video, I don't know. Like Instagram got things going out. Like I didn't really look up just like random things on the internet. I see kids going back to school, school sales. Like I ain't really see too much for just like random things. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna try to make it something that I didn't see. I didn't see it. One of the biggest things I seen that like I didn't even want to talk about like the blue face and his girl situation and like tattoos and like everybody like, oh, it's crazy they break up, is she gonna have that? I'm like, Janae Aiko did the same thing. Like she got it covered up with a dragon. Like you can get it covered. Okay, like people happen. I think diving deeper into that is a lot to dissect. But like I said, I didn't even want to talk about it. I'm really trying to think. Like it's not just too much that I've seen. Like blame me. Like usually I go and I research it. I try to go like look up something, but I ain't really just see too much. To matter of fact, I seen something interesting. It was some lady on TikTok talking about go vote, and I'm drawing a blank. Like I forgot what type of um, plan or like act they trying to bring into law or whatever. But it was like some lady was saying go vote, and if I scroll through my TikTok, I probably find it. It's not that serious to me. I'm not gonna lie. I did find it interesting scrolling through TikTok. Like I don't know. I guess up in Arabic, like technically military is not supposed to have TikTok. And it's funny for like civilians or whatever, like don't know. Like we have annual 350-1 training, and OPSEC is supposed to be the biggest thing. Like not talking, not having your birthday on social media. Excuse me. Not having your birthday on social media, not having your occupation, not having that you're in the service, not having your hometown. So I find it like utterly hilarious and fascinating. Like, cause I whatever. I had an incident where a guy was like, "Oh, you don't act like you're in the service. You're not acting military. You're like you never been in the service. I don't even know like why you said that. It's kind of like you want my job." But I'm just talking shit. But like I see all of like the military and stuff on TikTok and stuff, and I be like uniform, posting where they at, where they stationed at. They got the stuff in the bio, and I'm like, we do OPSEC every year, and like this is literally the opposite of OPSEC. Like this is literally what they tell us not to do. On top of saying we ain't really supposed to be on this app. So I find that like fascinating. Like when people like military and we like no, we are people just like anybody else. We like don't get me wrong, like we supposed to have the standard. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying like I find it funny. You got first sergeants and sergeant majors and PFCs and like every rank in between. You got highest to low drill sergeants like on TikTok in that uniform, and I'm like, we learn about OPSEC every year. Like we get trained on it. Don't post your birthday. Don't post where you stationed at. Don't talk about being in the service. And I'm not even gonna lie. Like I've seen a couple Marines, but I don't see a lot of Marines. And I'm just saying that because sometimes, or that's the what is it? Perception that Marines are a little bit more disciplined than everybody, and they're the fewer, the proud, the brave, the all that great stuff, right? But I don't think you really see them on TikTok like that. Like I see a lot of Navy, I see a shit ton of Army. Go Army. I'm orange and nothing bad. But I see a bunch of them on there, so I that is something that I thought was hilarious. Like I go and you got your Instagram and you got your YouTube videos and you talk about like the service and all this stuff, and it's just like it's literally what they tell us not to talk about. Like you're not going on there. Everywhere is different. I'm not gonna say that because I was gonna say something about like Korea. You don't see these people on there, blah blah blah. But like North Korea is way different. Like they social media and stuff and like restrictions and crap is different. China and all these places are a little bit more stricter with different things. But I just find it like hilarious. I'm like, man, we are not supposed to be on here, but we on here. Full fledged uniform, like all over social media. Job you do, where you're stationed at, like. But anyway, like I said, I don't really have nothing. I guess I gave you a bunch of things. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed making it. Like I say, I'm not gonna promise y'all an episode every week because while I'm at this job, it's just hard. And when I leave this job, the job that I'm going to go do, I'll have a little bit more of a normal schedule, but it's still going to be hard because I'm going back to somewhere where the workload is high and the tempo is high. So I still may not be able to get them out as frequently as I want to. But I'm gonna try everything in my power. Like I say, I never want to put out a bad product. So that's my thing. Like I don't want to put out a bad segment. I don't want to BS you just to put something out there because once I BS it, it's my brand. Like I go everywhere. My mom just asked me when I went home a couple of days ago, like you wear your shirt every day? Yeah, every day, gym, walking through anywhere. You see me, you gonna see overthinking, understanding my logo. You gonna see it. I'm gonna get it everywhere. I keep telling myself don't put it on my car. That's how much I believe in my brand. Like, oh, your podcast only do this much. You only got this much view. That's how much I believe in what is going to be, what it can be, what is going to be. You know. So like I walk around with it all the time. So for me to put out a bad product intentionally, or knowing that, and it's not like I say, it's not being 100%. It's being 75% and not giving your full 75%. So if I'm like, oh, I showed up and I'm doing this episode and I kind of want to talk about this, and like it's just not giving what it's supposed to be given. Like the lady in London song say, like, what is it giving? Like I'm not just trying to give like I'm up here just wasting people's time, or I'm up here just talking to hear myself talk. Like this is something I believe in. Like this is a person that has always talked to their friends and family, and I was like, man, I could genuinely help people, and I genuinely want to help people. Like I genuinely help myself with these lessons. I genuinely want to teach people about mindset. I genuinely want to help people develop personally. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that I actually want to do. So of course I don't want to sit there and like play with it. But with all that being said, this episode has came to an end. That segment, social, heartfelt, and informative things on the internet, came to an end. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Until next time, go out there, be genuine, and be kind to people. That's it. This is Viktoriya Moore, host of Overthinking Understanding podcast.